First and foremost, what a wonderful day for not only Virginia Tech women's basketball, but Virginia Tech in general. Game day coming here, selecting Virginia Tech, Blacksburg to come here, and Hokie Nation. I mean, they represented. They were out in full force. I told the ESPN talent, I said, we affectionately call them a healthy cult because their passion is so strong for the Hokies, and the way they came out, it was just a great showing for our school, great showing for our program, and then for us to come out on a very difficult day, and I think the way that we talked about it as being like more of a celebration of their accomplishments and not that it's the end, and obviously it's the end of a regular season run here. But we feel like if we continue doing what we're doing, then we'll be back. So that kind of helped ease the pain a little bit. But I'm very proud of the whole group. But if you're going to talk about and reflect on their careers, the leap of faith that they took coming here, the vision that I was selling to them, and what they really bought into. And it's one thing to buy into it and say, okay, he says it's going to be this, let's go there. But they had to work hard to make it come true. And I've never been around two harder workers, and you can throw Kayla King into that mix too. And not only was my vision, but they probably believed my vision probably more than I did. And they worked and worked and worked, and as a result, they walk out here and they feel like they can play with anybody, and they're as good as anybody. And that's a testament to their hard work, but their mentality, which has really propelled Virginia Tech to one of the best teams in the country. And when I took over 8 years ago, we talked about it. But it was unimaginable to think that game day was going to be here with 6,000 people. You're going to sell out on senior night, and not just a quiet crowd. It wasn't just friends and family. It was a hot ticket, and they were loud. They were loud and they were proud. So to be able to go out and to perform, with all of that going on, and Elizabeth has 34-8. We've grown accustomed to that, and we're just like, hey, okay, yay. And but that just shows how great she is and what she was able to do. Georgia, congratulations, became the all-time leader in assists in Virginia Tech history. I don't know who wrote the script, but it was pretty daggone good. Her family's here. They're all in full force. To be able to sit here and watch her break the record on senior night in front of a sold-out crowd against our arch rival. If you sold that to Disney, I don't know if they would buy it. They would probably say it's too much, too over the top. But very happy for these kids, very happy for everyone involved. It takes a lot of people to really get this program to where it is, and everyone's belief has really gotten us here. So tremendous day.
All right, we're going to start on the left. Please be patient. Raise your hand for questions.
Another program first today. I wanted to ask each of you, you clinched the top seed in the ACC tournament for the first time and clinched at least a share of the regular season title. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's really cool. Obviously we have 2 regular season games left, so we're not, jumping too far ahead. But at the start of the season, we wanted to put ourselves in a good position, not just for the ACC tournament, but the NCAA tournament. And I think, the way that we've been clicking the last, month or so has really helped us do that. I think we're playing with just a ton of confidence. And that's, super valuable and has translated into the success that we've had. And obviously, the rewards or whatever mean a lot, but I think, we've just had the most fun ever the last few weeks with these girls, and that's what I'll remember the most.
Okay.
It's hard to think, and actually, the trophy is here, but we wouldn't touch it. And because obviously, it's a tremendous honor. It's an accomplishment. It's one that we won the ACC tournament last year, and that was a tremendous feat. But it was like play well for 3 days, And now to be the regular season at least co-champion, that's a long haul. That's a long haul going to a lot of different places, playing under adversity. So it's a little bit different, but it means a lot. And for us to be able to take Virginia Tech there, it's a lot of fun. And it makes me so proud to be a Hokie, so proud to be their coach. And their belief in me, my belief in them, it's just been a great partnership, and great things have happened. But we don't get here if Hokie Nation is not behind us like they are. And I remember when they were here and they were young players and they would go watch the men's game, And then they would go and play games, and it was half full or less than that. And they never deterred their enthusiasm for our program. They just kept working hard. And now for them to be able to play in front of crowds like that and not be phased. I think they played in front of a crowd like that in the beginning, and, she was shooting air balls and she was turning the ball over, but now they're used to it. That's why we can go to a Louisville in front of 13,000 and play the way we play. And I think that's a testament to everyone involved that's really made this program what it is.
You said the ACC brought the regular season trophy.
Yeah, they do that, but it's we're not touching it. It's when somebody, I guess, has a share or clinches, they bring the trophy there. So.
And for the players, to follow up on what Kenny said, you had a lot going on today with game day and with senior day, and yet, can you speak to what was the focus, the mentality of this team that, despite all that was going on, you came out in the first quarter and laid the hammer on them?
Yeah, I think we're just a really mature group, and we keep the main thing. Obviously, it's a massive compliment to have game day here and the crowds and all of the potential distractions, but, as I said before, we're very mature, and basketball is life, so keep that the main thing.
Go to the right, Will.
Georgia, for you sitting on the bench in that second quarter, they were taking up that second foul, but you broke out in the third with 11 points in the quarter. So what kind of was your mentality heading in to that stretch?
It's like all my subs just in one pool, I don't know, I wasn't really thinking too much about it.
And then Liz, for you, you tied your second highest point total with 34 points on senior night. Just talk a little bit also about the game day atmosphere. Like, what did you and Georgia both really like about that whole setup?
It's just really cool, I think, for our program to get recognized in that way. Because like Coach Brooks said, that wouldn't have happened a few years ago, but, now we've been able to build it to a point where people want to come and showcase this fan base and this team. And for us to be able to be a part of that was just really cool, and it's definitely a day that I'll remember forever.
On the left, David Cunningham.
Coach, so much going on off the rip. Hold them to 2 of 13 in the first quarter. What did you like about your defense, and how much did that set the tone for you guys for the rest of the game?
It was great. I said this earlier today. We know who we are, and you people talk about defense, and the way some people perceive good defense is not the way we play. But we're very, very secure in who we are and defending, and we know where we want to put people. And I thought in the first quarter we did a great job of that. Now you give them credit. Deja Kelly really got going. She's a mid-major assassin. She's one of the best in the country at hitting that little mid-range shot. And we put her in position to do it, and she did it. She did it well. And I think the zone was really good for us. I think with the last two possessions of the third and then all the way into the fourth, kind of slowed them down a little bit, kind of took her out of the rhythm a little bit. But I was really pleased. This is the smartest group that I've ever coached, and they understand the assignment. They know what they're supposed to do. It's a thing of beauty. If you ever come and watch us prepare for a team as we go over their plays, it looks like a lot of confusion out there because they're conversating amongst themselves. We're talking as a staff, and collectively we come up with a game plan because we coaches know what's going to happen, but they're the ones out on the floor. And they're talking to each other, hey, what do you like? What do you want to do on this? And we have the utmost confidence in them and what they come up with, that we'll let them go with it. I think we made an adjustment at halftime, and we gave them the option. I said, do you guys want a hard hedge or do you want a long hedge? And, so we have the utmost confidence in each other to rely on each other. And I think that makes our defense good. We're not stellar. We're not going to be the best, but our offense is good enough that when you combine the two, we're a pretty good team.
Colby.
First off, congrats on the win, everybody.
Thank you.
Specifically, Georgia, when you're coming out with thunderous applause and you're hearing the whole crowd, Castle Garden, screaming, one more year. Whenever that decision comes, whatever it may be, what does it mean to you to know that this small town in southwestern Virginia, you've left this impact halfway across the world?
Yeah, it's actually really unbelievable. Like, as you said, it's literally halfway across the world, and it's, a small town, but, I just want everyone to know that the impact that they left on me is just as big as everyone says I left on them or whatever. But I've loved my time here. It's been phenomenal, and what we've done is nothing short of amazing. And I can't wait till I'm 50, 60 and saying that we scored 40 points each.
Slow down.
how we
50
cooked.
and 68 and all that's cracked up to be.
No, but like we've done massive things with this program and we've won, but for real, like the connections and the relationships I've had and I'm saying like within the program and just the people around has just been actually unbelievable. Like I really have not had a terrible day in Blacksburg, seriously.
Over here, David Teal.
Kenny, there was a moment, I think it was under 2 minutes to go, where Georgia turned it over near midcourt off a trap. And you got into her a little bit, and you called her over. And I mean, the game's long decided, but you guys are still coaching and she's listening. Describe how that might reflect the relationship.
So it's a beautiful thing what you just said. You know, I'm still coaching and she's still listening. You know, I can yell at her and get after her, and she knows it's for her own good. And, you know, some people might roll their eyes or do whatever, but I can get after these two, and they understand it's coming from a place of love. And, you know, I want her to be as good as she can possibly be. And we're coaching for the next time, you know, the next time. And the ability that she's given me to coach her, her freshman year, you may have thought it was child abuse. The relationship that we had, it was always love. But I used to get on her because I knew how special she could be. And now she's that, you know, she's that. And so she knew. I didn't even really have to yell at her. She knew before I even brought her over there that it was a dumb play. But the connection that we have, it's unbelievable, you know, and it goes far beyond basketball. They can individually come into my office and we can talk about anything, everything, and nothing. And they leave my office and I don't even know what we talked about. I just feel better. You know, because these two kids, they're my kids. And so when I get after them, they understand that it's coming from a really good place and to make them better. And because they're so receptive to the coaching, that's why they're as good as they are.
On the right, Sam.
Obviously, a lot of basketball left to be played, but Georgia and Liz, looking back in your time and your 10 years in Blacksburg, what are you both proudest of?
That, building that, seriously. Like, all the people showing up and, like, actually, like, you know, people will show up for a free t-shirt. I'm not going to lie here. People show up and there's, like, free pizza. People are showing up and, like, caring about us and showing passion and riding the wave with us. And it's, like, a thing of beauty is, like, we get gratification and satisfaction from winning, but so does everyone else watching. It's, like, the coolest thing ever, the impact that we've had on this town, really.
Couldn't say it better.
Stay on the right with Brooke.
Liz, did you know that your first ACC game was against UNC in Castle?
No, it's been a
Wow.
hot minute.
I know it's been a hot minute. What area of growth, whether personal or when it comes to the game, do you feel like you have made the most strides in over the years?
Skill. I don't know. I'm like a completely different player than when I got here, and that's just because Coach Brooks, what he did with me. But also I think I've just matured a lot. Like I was 17 years old when I got in Blacksburg, and now I'm going to leave here as a 22-year-old that's a lot more confident, with a lot more abilities, and I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the people here, without the support here. So basically everything is different, and I'm very grateful for that.
Y'all won, by the way. So
Oh, perfect.
That's good.
Nothing's changed.
Second row on the left. Let's start with Andy and make our way down.
Kind of going off of that, you mentioned earlier that we kind of grow accustomed to seeing the numbers Liz puts up. I'm curious, is there an aspect of her game that you feel she's really moved forward
Yeah.
this year that maybe gets lost in the shuffle and
Yeah.
two-time player of the year keeps putting up big numbers?
We just talked about it 20 seconds ago. Her mentality. She got here and very well raised, very polite, very humble. And then as she continued to get better and better and better, the one thing that she needed to develop was a mentality. She's Elizabeth. That's her name. That's her given name. NIL opportunities has turned her into sometimes a Liz of business. All right, but then she gets mad on the court now, and she's a Liz of.
It's a contact name on my phone.
and that mentality has pushed her over the edge, and how good she is and how good she can be. She takes a beating, and years past she would take a beating, and she would just have the same look on her face, which is wonderful because it's a great representation of our program. But now when you beat her up now, she gets really mad, and she takes it out on the person that's beating her up, and she shows them, and it's a different look in her eye. it's different. It is different, and it's a beautiful thing because, we've worked on that. I used to prod her, and I used to go down and we would work out and we would do some stuff, and I would score on her, and I would talk trash, trying to get her to get riled up, and she wouldn't. This year, that's the step that she took. All of everything that she's doing basketball-wise, she's able to do it last year. Now she gets to it more with a different attitude, and she's more aggressive. I think last year, I told her at one point during the year, you have to be comfortable with taking 20 shots in a game. And when I told her that, she cringed. She's like, oh no. Now, if she's getting 25, 26, she's good. She enjoys it, and that's a mentality, and that's why she's so much better this year. Both of them at the end of the Final Four run, they came in right away and they wanted to work. And they got frustrated. Individually, they got frustrated because they weren't making this big leap, from a basketball standpoint. And I had to sit down and talk to them and say, you're not going to make that big of a leap like you did from your freshman year to your sophomore year. Now where you make the big leap is up here, and your mentality. And both of them have done that, and their mentality is totally different. They walk on the floor. They don't care who they're playing. They feel like they're the best players on the floor.
Kenny, how important has Matilda X play? She's been in double figures now, seems like for 4 or 5 or 6 of the last at least 7 games. How important is her play to complement what Liz and Georgia do in terms of offense?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. Georgia's parents were here, whole family's here. Matilda's family's here, and got to see her play, and they marvel at just the accommodations that we have here. The crowd, everything. But you don't just, and I've said it a million times, you don't just plug and play. Matilda was, 11, 12 points a game at Michigan State, 40% from the three. We knew she could do those things, but it took her a little bit to get incorporated into what we were doing. We had conversations a lot, and she wasn't on the same page with us early, and rightfully so. How can you just jump into and be on the same page? But she's morphed into what we needed from her. She's deadly from the three. She's got to the point where now her defense is really good in our system and what she does. We came to this realization the other day that she's listed as 6 foot, but she's really 6'2". And that length that she has helps us rebound the basketball, makes us tougher, and then just understanding our system. So she's a great kid. She's very quiet. She's very quiet, but she's making her noise on the floor for us now.
And then how important is having maybe a moment or celebration like this today to kind of, get this done now before obviously the ACC tournament coming up in a couple of weeks, and then obviously March Madness looming around the corner?
You know what? This group is different. This is the most mature group I've ever been around. Their focus, we started saying it's us versus us in early January. And then we got to a point where it did not matter whatever else happened. We controlled our own destiny. So regardless of what's going on the outside world, these kids have come in here and they locked in and focused, and a lot of it has to do with their leadership. But it's a great way to live. You're a lot less stressed. You're trying to hope that somebody else beats somebody else. Someone asked me, do you think it would be good for your team to lose one? Hell no. No. Because in this league, if you lose one, you don't never know if you're going to win one again. Because the league is so good. But we're just taking it one day at a time, and that's a cliche. And a lot of coaches talk about it, but these kids live it. It's just a one day at a time, and because of that, we've been very successful.
Stay on the left with Mitch.
Kenny, you swept Carolina this year. You swept NC State. All 4 of those games here
and last year.
Awesome.
And last year.
Awesome atmospheres, big crowd, sellout.
In our big gym.
Yeah, that's right. Biggest one of them.
Biggest one of them all. Yeah.
Is it bittersweet at all to know that you're not going to play them twice next year with the schedule changing?
Yeah. Yes and no. It's tough. It really is. It's really tough. And obviously when we first got into when I first got here, playing NC State, Wes does a tremendous job. Carolina's always been Carolina. It's been great for them. You played against them, I think, like 12 times. She's a Carolina kid, being able to, give it back to them. But the rivalry is good for women's basketball. It's so healthy. We played at Reynolds, and it's always a sellout. They came here and it was a sellout. And what we've been able to accomplish is really not only great for our league, it's great for women's basketball. And anybody who wants to step up, the casual people, the casual commentator comments people who want to say women's basketball is not interesting, it's fun, they don't know, but they're not watching the right teams. They're not watching the right teams because these kids lay it all out there, and they're so gifted in the way that they play. And I think that's a direct correlation of the rivalry. Like if you ask me, rivalries are different. You ask for anybody from Virginia Tech, who's your rival, they'll say Virginia. Well, COVID kind of messed that up for us where they opted out. We weren't able to play against them. But who were we playing? Carolina. We were playing, they're probably sick of Deja Kelly. Deja Kelly's probably sick of them. But they respect each other because of the rivalry, because we played so much. NC State, same thing. But they're healthy rivalries, She went to a camp with Deja Kelly last, and they know each other, and it's just been great for basketball. So we will miss it. We will miss it. And I wish it was a round robin situation with more teams, but it is what it is. It's a new age, and everything's happening with expansion, and we'll just play whoever they tell us to play.
So SMU, your big gym.
Yeah. Anybody coming here, see our big full gym.
Back right, we're going to Jermaine.
Coach, we talked to Carolyn Peck yesterday, and she said, watching your practice, she said that watching you out there with your team is like a dad coaching or their daughters and all that. If you could talk a little bit about that prospect of it and aspect of it, and just the praise that you guys are getting nationally, because they are definitely singing your praises with this program.
Well, when they walk out, I don't see number 33, 22 points a game, or number 5 coming out here averaging, 18 points a game. These are my kids, and we've lived it. Family, it's the only way that I know how to operate a program is incorporating my family into it. They become my family. I came home the other night. She's at my house. I won't be surprised. Like, she's at my house, and they're not there to see me. And it's a great thing. And I can walk in. I'm like, oh, hey, and I can just go somewhere else and go to my man cave, and they're cooking sausage rolls. So it's the way we are. That's the way that we've had to build it here at Virginia Tech. And as a result, we've gotten some amazing people and amazing relationships. I'll stay in contact with them forever, and what they're going to do. And they just not only touch my life, but my family's life. I think vice versa. And that's the way we operate. And it's real. And I won't change it for the world. And I don't care, what anybody says. That's the way we're going to operate. And look what we've done.
Stay on the right with Thomas.
Coach Brooks, on days like this, how often do you self-reflect on how much you've done for your program and the overall game?
Not a lot, because I won't allow myself to I was so focused and driven and locked in, and they probably knew it. I was a little tight, the last couple of days, because I wanted to send them out the right way, and I wanted to send them out the right way. I did put my head down and look around, and then looked up at the crowd, I think, with maybe 2.5 minutes left, right before I got them out, but then that's when I yelled at her for making the turnover. But it's just, my job is to get them in great position and get them everything that they deserve. So for me to sit back and look at what we have, I will one day. I really will. But right now, my job is to put them in great position so they can get everything that they deserve. And so I'm just looking at the next possession.
We got time for 2 more. I'll go Anthony and Zachary. Congratulations to you guys, all 3 of you.
Thank you.
For you guys to repeat as ACC tournament champions this year, you're not going to play another game back here. Everything's either on the road or at a neutral site in Greensboro. How do you move past the emotions and all of the, the circumstances of today and focus on the next couple challenges on the road before the tournament begins?
I don't really foresee that being a problem for us, honestly, just because we are so locked in and focused, like you said, day by day. We know what we have, next, and we might sit and reflect for tonight, but then tomorrow we're moving on. We just have too much to lose and too much at stake for us to be distracted by anything. And this group of people just also want it so bad, so we wouldn't let anything get in the way.
Coach, speaking on plug and play, you talked about the X, she dropped a lot of the time, but can you speak about the impact that Olivia Samuel has on your team and maybe some of the stuff that doesn't show up on the box score and the impact that she has?
How many double-doubles do you have? She's the reason that Liv doesn't have more. but that we welcome that. She had a Dennis Rodman type performance today where she had 2 points and 14 rebounds. And she adds an element that we really need. And, something we were missing earlier. She found her stride and the way that she can really, really affect this team. I'm so happy for her. She didn't have a senior night last year at Wake Forest. She caught COVID, right before her dad had to go out there with her picture. She said, I felt like people thought I died because they had her picture. And so she said she was so excited. And when she gave me a big hug, she was just like, so thank you so much. And then her dad got so excited, he even led the Let's Go Hokie chant, but the way that we welcomed her in, the way that she's really fit right in, it's exactly what we needed. And she has that tenacity that, we lost a little bit from T-Sol. But another great thing about her is that her familiarity with the ACC has really been beneficial for us, because she's not walking into Louisville for the first time. She's not walking into Syracuse for the first time. She's not guarding Utsby for the first time. She's done all that, obviously in a different system, but that's been great for us. Heck, she even gave us a scout on Wake Forest. It's been great for us. I'm really glad she found her way, and she's producing at a level that's really helping us become who we are.
All right, last one directed to Georgia.
Georgia, Liz has broken a lot of records around here, but tonight you broke the career assist record. As a point guard, what does it mean to you to have that record?
It means I'm doing my job and they're hitting shots, and I love it.
She's got a really good teammate now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They hit shots. Can't get an assist if they miss. She doesn't miss very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.